Hey everyone, this is Kim Jacobs and Mr. Leslie Calvin Brown here. How are you all today? Say hey to everybody, Les.
Hello, how are you?
I'm going to do a formal introduction of Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy, but I want to give everyone in the studio a chance to go ahead and share it with your friends, share it with even your enemies. It doesn't matter. Anybody in the world, go ahead and share it with them right now. I'm going to do the same thing and just test to make sure everything's going smoothly. And we're going to kick today's show off on the Kim Jacobs Show. So take a moment and share it with everyone that you know so no one misses the information that's going to be shared today. Let me see. So John Leslie, have him share it now too. Okay. Did he share it?
Can he share it from within here, or does he have to go to Facebook?
You have to go to Kim Jacobs, my Facebook page, and hit share, and then your audience will see it too.
Okay.
So just go right to my page, Kim Jacobs.
Got it.
Okay.
So we're broadcasting through 2 Facebook platforms.
Right. I'll tell you all of that after we get off, because I know how you are, and I don't want people to see you chastise me in my spiritual father way on the broadcast. Okay.
I have a person here that I want you to train, and her name is Sandra.
Okay.
She's eager to learn everything on this platform.
I will make sure that she fully knows everything.
Okay.
Okay. So right now, everybody should be sharing it. John Leslie, did you share it too?
Yep, I'm going to it
now. Once I see it shared, then I'll go ahead and do a formal introduction left.
Yes, Sandra, you should look at how he's doing that, so you know it.
For everybody that's watching right quick, Les Brown he's a perfectionist and he is not playing. So all the people that are closely attached to him, he wants us to get it right.
Yeah.
So I already know that. So grab your coffee, grab your tea, and until we see it shared, John Leslie, is it shared right quick?
Yeah, I'm still trying to find your page.
He's still trying to find your page.
Okay, it's Kim Jacobs. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. And once you share it, just share it, John Leslie. But it's Kim Jacobs, my personal Facebook page. So Leslie Calvin Brown, everybody that's on today, is an international motivational speaker, author, former radio DJ, and former television host for the Les Brown Show. Many of you watched it when he was an international television talk show host. He was a member of the Ohio House of Representatives. Him and his twin brother were born and adopted by Mrs. Mamie Brown, a single woman that literally had the heart to be able to adopt twins in an abandoned situation. He was labeled educable, mentally retarded while in grade school, which, boy, were they wrong. They were completely wrong. And he has 9 children: Calvin, Patrick, Ona, Ayana, Teloria, Thad, Samaya, Serena, and John Leslie. They are known as the first family of motivation. So you may have the first family of this and that and all of that, but when you hear the first family of motivation with Miss Ona and them and John Leslie and them tearing it down, you are in for a treat. Okay, he has a host of grandchildren, too many to name, and a host of great-grandchildren as well. He also is the godfather of Jayla, my daughter, and Jeremiah, my son, and they are like thrilled to say Les Brown is their godfather. So his daughter, Ona Brown, says that he's 75 years old right now, but he's not 75. He is 75. So that's me quoting Miss Ona Brown, the queen of motivation. So welcome, Mr. Leslie Calvin Brown, with your 75 yourself. Welcome.
Thank you. It's a plum-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege to be here with you. Thank you so much. How are you doing?
I'm doing outstanding, and I'm so glad to have you on the show today. And it's a treat and an honor because I don't get the opportunity to interview you. I'm usually working in the behind the scenes or doing anything that you're asking me to do. But
in show business, there's no question about that. James,
I didn't even hear you.
have anything on you.
I didn't even hear you.
Huh?
What did you say?
You're the hardest working person in show business. James Brown doesn't have anything on you.
Oh, thank you, Les. Thank you so much. And thank you for being on the show today. We're going to jump right in because I want everybody to be able to grab your notepads and take notes on what's happening today. Les Brown, there are so many people right now, especially with this whole COVID-19, and there's a lot of stress and anxiety. People don't know what to do, where to even turn. And I wanted people to hear you today to just give them some encouragement. What do you say to people that are feeling like they're down and out?
Well, first of all, they can change that. That's a choice, because we can, and I'd like to put it from this perspective. When I first got fired from radio, I didn't expect it. People that are losing their jobs now, over 30 million people, they didn't see it coming, the majority. And so when that happens, it's understandable that you will feel down. How am I going to survive? I just saw a study that people are making a choice between paying their bills and buying food. Now, it's not fair to say to people under those type of situations, oh, just think positive and be enthusiastic and everything's going to be all right. No. You have to have a plan for your mind, and you have to have a plan for how you're going to change that situation. But the first thing that you have to do, you have to hunker down. You have to get your mind together. When I was fired, I remember a friend of mine named Robert Boyd, who since passed, and he came to the house and he said to me, and he obviously observed that I was in a bad place.
Mm-hmm.
I was angry, and I was upset, and I was hurt because I was good. I was number one in the morning, and I did a lot of things that they didn't pay me for. I was not just a morning personality. I was the program director.
Mm-hmm.
I was the music director. I did the news.
Yeah.
I did things that I thought the station needed. I had a talk show, the first of its kind, called The Voice of the People. I did editorials against police brutality. Now, this is in the 80s. This is unprecedented. And there were all types of demonstrations of 5,000 to 10,000 people. And so he came and he said, Les? And I said, yes. He said, I just want to say this and I'm leaving. I said, what is it, Bob? He said, things aren't going to get better for you until you get better. Things are not going to change in your life until you change. And he turned and walked out. And I sat there and I thought about it. And sure enough, I started reading. I started listening to motivational messages.
Wow.
And a knock came on the door. Hi, this is Horace Perkins. I'm talking to him through the door. He was a salesman at the radio station. Horace, how are you? I open the door. He comes in and he has these petitions in his hand. He said, you're running for state representative. I said, Horace, I don't know anything about politics. Listen, man, people love you and they miss you being on the air. I've got the signatures. All you need to do is sign here. Now, here's what I know.
Right.
Helen Keller says that when one door closes, another door opens. But most people spend time crying about, being depressed about, and complaining about the closed door. They don't see the open door.
Don't see it.
No, absolutely not. But because my energy changed,
Mm-hmm.
because even though I had no idea what I was going to do next, but I changed, I created a shifter within myself. And my prayer after Robert Boyd left the next morning was, Lord, whatever I face today, together you and I can handle it.
That's right. Well, see, Les, first of all, you're saying so many things in those statements that you're sharing. One of the things that I took away from what you've already shared is that you were willing to do a lot of different jobs. You weren't just limited to saying that this is all my skill set will provide for me to do. So sometimes people are limiting themselves on opportunities because they're so they're picking and choosing that this is all I can do when they're capable of so much more. And you talk about that.
You know, I'm laughing at you because imagine being the top personality in a city.
Yes.
You lose your job.
Mhm.
No one will hire you because you're controversial, because you editorialize about police deadly use of force. No other radio station will hire you.
Right.
A community organization called Kamako that I fought to get funding for them and asked for a job. And Curtis Brooks, the president of the company, said, "This is no welfare agency." He would have never said that when I was on the air. And I remember a song by Sam Cooke called "Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out." And so I had to make some money. So guess what I did? I started cutting grass.
See? You see what I'm saying? Whatever it
That's
takes.
what I used to do as a kid. And I remember I would be cutting somebody's grass and my fan drive by saying, "You know, you look just like Les Brown." I said, "I did that every day."
That's so funny. And meanwhile, you're doing whatever it takes.
Now I get, "You look like Barry White." I said, "I hope I don't. If I do, you better start running."
That's so funny. But you know what? In your book, in the book that you have called "You Got to Be Hungry," everyone make sure you get a copy of Les Brown's "You Got to Be Hungry" book. I'm actually going to share that screen, Les. I have a way to share that with people right quick, and you'll be able to see it as well. Let me go to that. I hope I don't mess up messing with you being my spiritual father and all here, but I'm gonna see if I can do it. Okay, yes, there you are.
Yes.
You can see it?
Yes, I can see it. Yes.
Okay. And people can still see you, Les. But talk about your book, "You've Got to Be Hungry." It was just released and it's going to change lives forever.
Oh, without any question, because it was 21 years coming, and now I realize it was written for this time because people are going through a lot. Suicide rate has increased even before Corona, 32% since 1999. And so there are people having nervous breakdowns. Domestic violence has increased. The suicide rate of African-American boys between the ages of 5 and 11 has increased. The leading suicide population in our population of kids. And so there are people who are breaking down. There's a guy named L.C. Robinson. He said, "Things may happen around you, things may happen to you, but the only things that really count are the things that happen in you." In the time that I got fired, I thought that it was the worst thing that could happen to me because I love radio to this day. It's my first love, and I did it extremely well, and I was successful and very popular. And then I got fired. Well, here's what I realized. There are things that when they happen, I think this is the reason that Shakespeare said, "Nothing is neither good nor bad, but thinking makes it so."
Right.
That we think it happened to us, when in reality, it happened for us.
Wow.
Because had I not been fired, I would have never became a state representative from the 29th House District and passed 14 pieces of legislation my first term and became the chairman of the Human Resource Committee and the Education Committee. Had I not been fired, I would have never produced specials for PBS and earned over $4 million. Had I not been fired, I would have never had a nationally syndicated talk show that King World paid me $5 million in advance to do. Had I not been fired, I would have never became a motivational speaker and earned the money that I desired to buy my mother a home because she took us in as foster kids and she adopted us. And so there are things that you think at the time they're happening to you, but in reality, that's why we're taught, judge not according to appearances, but right thinking, righteous thinking, that's the right thinking and right words and right thoughts and right behavior and right relationships can open up new opportunities for you.
That's right.
And so what happens is that that people are operating when something happens to them, and if they look at it from a negative perspective, they can have opportunities stand in front of them, and because of that negative thinking, the way their mind has been skewed,
That's
they
right.
won't see the possibilities. But you take a person who's optimistic, you put in front of them obstacles, and because of the way their mindset is, they will see the opportunities. So the mindset has to be shifted. That's major. I encourage everybody right now to go to YouTube and watch the video Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome, where I'm speaking to over 80,000 people. Watch the video, It's Possible. Watch the video, Getting Unstuck, and the one called You Deserve. If they watch those every day, what you're going to do is you're going to create a different mindset. See, our thoughts have magnetic power. A friend called me the other day. I haven't seen him in 3 years, but he's been on my mind for 2 weeks intensely. And I said, my goodness, man, I was thinking about you for the last 2 weeks. And we've all had that experience where we were thinking about somebody and we ran into them, or they called us, or we called somebody, and at the time we called them, they're calling us. So our thoughts have magnetic power, but most of us are not manifesting what it is that we've been taught. I'll give you all your eyes can see.
That's right.
Because of the interruptions. There are so many interruptions that we don't focus our minds and begin to program our minds ourselves. Because if you don't have a ritual to program your mind, whatever you and watch the first 30 minutes when you wake up, it will affect the spirit of your day. So you have to be intentional to create a ritual of not watching the television, and deliberately listen to positive messages, read 30 to 40 pages of something positive every day. I talk about this in my book, You've Got to Be Hungry. And what it does is it creates a possibility mindset. I was suffering when I was in a negative state of mind. I was suffering from possibility blindness. And then once I created that shift, things begin to happen. I begin to attract the people, the resources, the support that I needed to create a new chapter in my life.
I know I don't want to sound like I'm getting the Holy Ghost over here, like, because it gets tongue tied, because it's just exciting. Because for so many years you have been motivating people all over the world, and you are a true legend. So it's like people have grown up and have overcome so many obstacles, all because you have used your gifts and your talents. And I do want to take a moment and show people right quick which video you were talking about. So let me go to that for a second, if I can. Again, don't judge me, Les Brown, Mr. Leslie.
I'm not going to judge you.
Okay, let's see if I can get to this real quick. Les Brown. Is it? No.
Speaking in the Georgia Dome.
Okay, let me make sure I got the right one, because I don't want to. But while I'm getting the right one, I want to make sure that people learn what you mean by saying in your book that somebody should be unstoppable. Because you talk heavily about being unstoppable in your book. And
when you have goals and dreams, when you have goals and dreams that you want to achieve, we're taught, think it not strange that you'll face the fiery furnaces of this world. You will, not you might. You will have tribulations. You're going to have resistance. Things are going to be thrown in your path. Adversities will show up that you never anticipated. Life will catch you on the blind side. As Forrest Gump said, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. 27 years ago, when I was diagnosed with cancer by oncologist Dr. Alfred Gosen, who had an unusual sense of humor, Mr. Brown, you have cancer.
Right.
I said, is that right? Yeah. And it's metastasized to 7 areas of your body. And I smiled. He said, why are you smiling? I said, 7 is my lucky number. I'm one of 7 children. And my birthday is February the 17th. And Joshua marched around the walls of Jericho 7 times. Naaman dipped himself in the River Jordan 7 times. He looked at his nurse and he said, this is a strange one. And I said, can I get a second opinion? He said, yes. And you're ugly too. I said, well, you did go there. I said, you didn't just call me ugly, did you? He said, yes, you are ugly, ugly, in fact. And we started laughing. And then he interrupted me and said, but you got this. Mm-hmm. We determine the diagnosis. Mm-hmm. You and God determines the prognosis. You got this. Mm-hmm. And what he did was he interrupted my thinking, how people live their lives as a result of the story they believe about themselves. And the collective consciousness, cancer is a death sentence to many people. He interrupted that thinking and opened my mind up. See, when you laugh, and that's why I use humor in my presentation, how I train speakers to do this, because when you laugh, the mind shuts down, but the heart opens up.
That's right.
Said, but you got this. We determine the diagnosis. You and God determines the prognosis. He said, I'll put all your eyes can see. And so I had to begin to see myself on the other side of cancer. I had to see myself being able to conquer cancer. I had to see myself not allowing this to take me out. And so where your heart is, there your treasure is also. And living a heart-centered life rather than a fear-centered life, I'm still here.
Yeah.
God's grace and mercy.
And we are so grateful because so many people are still learning. I'm going to show a quick clip and then we're going to talk about some technology that I know you're rolling out so that people get a chance to learn about some easy way to earn money using technology in a simple and practical way. Let me show this clip right quick of Mr. Leslie Calvin Brown speaking at the Georgia Dome, so you'll know exactly where to go. It's under Les Brown. It's not over until I win. And we're going to play a quick clip of that. Les Brown. Can you see it?
Yeah.
What I'd like for you to do right now, I want you to think about your dream because I'm in a room full of dreamers.
Yes.
Think about your dream right now. I want you to think about it and envision it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me share something with you. I do not believe that any of us have dreams that were not given to us for the purpose of accomplishing those particular dreams. And I want to share something with you that has changed my life. I started out, as was indicated by Jack, it's very humble beginnings. I don't know what that dream is that you have. I don't care how far-fetched it might appear to be. I don't care how disappointing it might have been as you've been working toward that dream. But here's what I know, that dream that you're holding in your mind, that it's possible. Let's say that together, please. Say, it's possible. See, sometimes we can't say, I can do that. But what we can say, that it's possible that I can have my dream as we run toward it, as we work on it day in and day out. No one, ladies and gentlemen, could have convinced me when I started out just over 6 years ago, working on my dream. And I want you to think about whatever your dream is. Wow. Because I was willing to take a chance. And most people won't do that.
Yes.
Most of the people that you talk.
That's what I wanted them to see, that Georgia Dome. That right there is amazing. It's amazing. That you commanded an audience of how many people approximately in the Georgia Dome?
80,000.
80,000 people when you were just 6 years after starting out as a speaker at that time.
Yeah.
And you made it, the possibility became a reality. So now where people are discouraged and they're not believing in themselves, anything is possible, right?
At the time I gave that speech, My office was in Detroit, Michigan, on the 21st floor. I was sleeping in my office and hiding in the closet from the janitorial staff after 12 midnight and bathing in the sink down the hall.
Look at God. That's what one of my studio audience members, I always do quick shout outs, like a blitz round of some of my studio audience members. Tarina Hicks says, look at God. She said, Tisha says, envision your dreams. Tarina says, yes. Samantha Benson says, it's not over until I win.
That's the title of the speech.
It's not over until I win. Nadine says, yes. These are some of the studio audience members that came and participated today. Amen from Andrea. You have lots of people saying no fear, fear over faith, no fear. Having faith over fear. So a lot of people are joining in
here on fear. One or two things happen when it's the atmosphere that we're now in.
Right.
The majority of people, when fear shows up, they face everything, they forget everything and run. But the small number of people, they face everything and rise.
Wow.
Okay. And the reason that they do, as Zig Ziglar says, fear is false evidence appearing real. Faith is finding answers in the heart. Where your heart is, there your treasure is also. And I gave that speech, and Kim, here's the weirdest thing. I don't remember giving the speech. I have gone to a hypnotist and say, can you help me see the audience from the stage?
Wow.
I'm holding the microphone. All I remember was Mike Williams saying to me, Brownie, you got this. Make your mother proud. That my hand was shaking with the microphone. I'd never spoken before 80,000 people before. And when he said, Brownie, you got this. When I turned, that's all I remember. But here's what I teach, and I truly believe this. And I'm an example of that. That sometimes you've got to believe in somebody's belief in you until your belief kicks in.
That's interesting that you said that, because literally I feel like that's what you did with me. When I met you 25 years ago, I wanted to put this comment up first. Mike Williams inspired Les Brown by saying, Brownie, you got this. Make your mother proud. And he went out there and performed at that level in front of over 80,000 people. Well, Les, that's what you did for me over 25 years ago by becoming a mentor of mine. And it changed my life. It made me believe that my mother had already taught me as a child that I could do anything growing up in an inner city housing project. But when I got to know you at the age of 25 years old, I was like, this man is the real deal. And you took me under your wings and helped me believe that anything was possible. And I thank you for that.
Well, thank you. It's my honor. But you know, you march to the beat of a different drummer, Kim. You're different. I believe there are people like us. We're aliens. And the reason I start saying this, here I am, I started reflecting on my life. My twin brother I just talked to, we talk every day. And it fascinates me that my mother, she adopted 7 of us. Mm-hmm. And we're so dramatically different, raised by the same woman, mm-hmm. and the same circumstances. And yet we're dramatically different. They look at me like I'm an alien. That I remember when Mama's birthday came around, when I was 9 years old, I would sell bottles. You can sell bottles and get about 5 cents for a bottle. And I went downtown on the bus and I bought a lamp and some bloomers for Mama.
Funny.
I've got to say, yeah, this look like her size.
That's hilarious.
One of my brothers and sisters participated. I said, Mama had a 3rd grade education. She worked for wealthy families on Miami Beach. And I was walking around these big, beautiful mansions. And I said, Mama, what is it, Leslie? when I become a man, I'm going to buy you a big, beautiful home just like this. I couldn't even get my brothers and sisters to participate in the thinking of how we can pool our money to do it. And I did it myself. And my sister, Margaret Ann, she bought groceries, but I bought the house. But the six of them never got together and said, you know what? Let's pay the mortgage month 1 month. Let's do that. Give him a break. Mm-hmm. Never. And so what I realized that some of us are aliens. I could be among people and feel very alone because the things that goes on my mind, this doesn't have to be like this. We can change this. And so when I talk about you got to be hungry, what I realized, when you lose your hunger, you're not going to live life to the fullest. We're here to live the abundant life, and the odds are stacked against us. Please make no mistake about it. And in order to offset those things, mm-hmm. you got to be hungry. People that are hungry are relentless. People that are hungry are unstoppable. People that are hungry have a mindset of zero excuses. They look for results, not for complaints. There's never been a statue erected to a critic talking about how bad the situation is. People that are hungry find a way to win. They believe always strive to get on top in life because it's a bottom that's overcrowded. When I think about how you have reinvented yourself, how you, when you get your mind to doing something, that you go all in, that's not normal. Most people, as Miles Monroe would say, they enrich the cemetery. And he said, rob the cemetery of your dreams, of your talents, of your abilities, of your skills. And that's how we should live. Live full and die empty. But if you are not hungry, if a door is slammed in your face, that's it. 85% of people stop. I went to a radio station over and over again. Mr. Butterball, how are you, sir? My name is Tom, sir. I'd like to be a disc jockey. Weren't you here yesterday? Yes, sir.
It's like, what's wrong with you?
Yesterday? Yes, sir. Why are you back today? Well, sir, I didn't know whether or not somebody was fired or somebody was laid off.
Right.
Oh, we don't have any job for you. I came back the next day. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I'd like to be a disc jockey. I know what your name is. Weren't you here the last 2 days? Yes, sir. Then why are you back today? Sir, I didn't know whether or not someone got sick or someone died, sir.
Anything could have happened, right?
No one was laid off or fired. Now, don't you come back here again. I came back the next day, talking loud, looking happy, like I'm seeing him for the first time. Hello, Mr. Butterball, how are you? And he looked at me with rage. He said, go get me some coffee. I said, yes, sir.
That's right.
And so I became the errand boy for the disc jockeys. I just wanted to get my foot in the door. Mm-hmm. And I knew I would make it from there. And so hunger, people that are hungry realize you will feel your way to success. Walt Disney, he filed bankruptcy 7 times and had 2 nervous breakdowns. People that are hungry, 8 out of 10 millionaires have been financially bankrupt. People that are hungry believe, as Og Mandino would say, I will persist until I succeed.
Wow. Okay. I'm trying to put all the audience comments they just chime in on everything you're saying. So I'm trying to get them little shout outs throughout the broadcast too. But now I want to make sure that we transition to how you earn money using technology in a simple, practical way.
I'm very glad you asked that. For instance, Shula said this, there's never a shortage of money. There's only a shortage of ideas. So you take this, mascara. So I have no qualms when I'm doing a presentation. I say, I use mascara to cover my gray. My children say, Daddy, you look distinguished with your gray hair. I said, 75, I'm not trying to look distinguished. I'm trying to look young. And I got a Corona afro.
Your afro looks good.
My hair look this long, okay?
I hope I look that great when I turn 75.
Yeah. So now I decided I found a manufacturer that would produce Stay Young with Les Brown. Okay, easily cover your gray hair. All right. So here's what can happen today.
Is that a real product? Stay Young with Les Brown?
I'm coming out with it. Okay. So let's say
I'm buying that. I'll buy that. Stay Young with Les Brown mascara.
That's right.
Exclusively on the Kim. Let me get to my exclusive stuff. Exclusive on the Kim Jacobs show.
So write this down. Knowledge is the new currency.
Okay.
So let's take you, for instance. If I was advising you, I said, Kim, who would you say was the most influential person in your life?
I would say my mom.
Okay, hold on just a minute. And let's use what's the quality about her character, about her personality? What's number one that stood out for you?
Her compassion for others.
Got it. Okay. Hi, my name is Kim. I want you to think about what is it you want out of life. And I want you, as you think about that, what are the qualities and the attributes of people that are successful? I want to share something with you about my mother. And I want you to write this down. One of the main qualities that you must have, you got to have compassion. You know, Maya Angelou said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. My mother, she never met a stranger. My mother, she loved people and she always found a way to give. Horace Mann said, we should be ashamed to die until we've made some major contribution to humankind. And because of her compassion, I saw my mother sacrifice. Because of her compassion, she helped strangers and that impacted me because of her compassion on how she treated just everyday people. That inspired me to want to be just like my mother. If there's anything we need in the world today, people with compassion. When something happens, there's the perpetrator, there are the witnesses, and there's the victim. And the worst of those is not the perpetrator, as one would believe, it's the witnesses. Because if we had witnesses today, brown children who speak Spanish would not be in cages. If we had witnesses that had compassion today, mothers and fathers would not be torn from their children. If we had people with compassion today, the witnesses stepping up and saying, no, this is not who we are. We believe as you treat people, so shall it be. The least that you do unto these, my brethren, you do it also unto me. Let these people go.
My God. So let me just, I got to put this story together the way you just did. My name is Kim Jacobs. This is what I'm saying, y'all. You have to learn from Les Brown. And when you learn it, you learn it. It's embedded in your spirit. It's something that you can go out anywhere. You could be out on an island by yourself and just get that story telling component from Les Brown.
Kim, the story is everything. Just imagine. I got a call 2 days ago from Germany. And so they offered me $225,000 to come and speak for an hour. And I said, no. He said, no. I said, right. He said, well, how much will you charge? I said, listen to me, Linda. Listen to me. I'm not getting no play. Listen, you don't have to be close to anybody. They have removed the seats. Listen to me, Linda. The air is circulated. We're breathing the same air. What if you have a motivated germ called Corona, and they're motivated and hungry to kill somebody. What is taking up my nose while I'm sitting up in there for 12 hours flying over there? No, my life is worth more than $225,000. Now, I remember if you'd offer me $225,000 for an hour, I'd have had my mama bake them a sweet potato pie. I'd have been driving Miss Daisy. I'd have come over there and chauffeur driven them around and shined their shoes. I brought my children. Hey, you clean the house over here. You know, I'm suing the Catholic Church because of I have a class action suit against the Catholic Church because of the fact that they said the rhythm method will help you to eliminate having a lot of children. And so I have rhythm, but the rhythm method don't work. You missed that. You missed that. Okay. So at any rate, you're not that young that you don't know what I'm talking about. So
the rhythm. Oh, you know what? I thought you were serious. I didn't realize you were joking. You got to tell me when you're not on your medication. I didn't know. I was like, what? Why are we talking about this on the show? Oh, the rhythm method. Okay.
I said the rhythm method don't work, Kim.
I got it.
Touch her right now. Tie the yellow bow tie. Tie the yellow bow tie.
I'll receive it, seriously.
No, but the point that I'm making, so you have this, so you could produce a product. You can talk into your telephone for 20 minutes on compassion, what you learned from your mother.
Yes.
You can have your son do the marketing. If you just had that one presentation and have your oldest son market and produce it and promote it on Facebook. If you sold 100,000 copies, that's $1 million. But what if you just sold 25,000 copies? 10 times 25,000 is $250,000. So knowledge is a new currency.
Wow.
So you record or video the knowledge. If you've ever had a tough time in life, had some setbacks, some failures, went through a divorce, or how to conduct a happy marriage.
Wow.
Or how to raise positive kids in a negative world. And you package it. The reason that they said the computer is the person of the year, Time Magazine, because for the first time, the average person in the history of the world have access to information and e-commerce, that you can run a global business as I do from my telephone.
I love it.
Yes. So it took me 3 years to earn my first $1 million. But I did it the old-fashioned way. I was going from city to city. Now you can earn $1 million in one day with the right product and the right marketing strategy, because the computer eliminates geography. Everything. I love what's going on right now. Why? Because it's a level playing field. Now, from the comfort of my home, I'm going to be jumping off soon. I do 4 to 5 webinars a day from home.
How do people get more information on everything that you're talking about? I have your website, but I want to make sure that people go. I Am Hungry, Les Brown.
Yeah, I want them to go there to buy the book. I Am Hungry, Les Brown. Okay.
That's the buy. You've got to be hungry. His new book release is available on Amazon, but if you get it right here on I Am Hungry, Les Brown, you'll be able. One of the guests wanted to know, well, if they buy it today, will you sign the guest copies for the people that are buying it today through I Am Hungry, Les Brown? People were asking about that.
No, because I'm not there where you buy it.
I didn't know how we could do that, but
yeah, sure. No, that's not going to happen. I'm just to be honest. Let me finish this though. There's never a shortage of money. It's just a shortage of thinking. The key to making it today: 1, mental resolve. 2, Upgrade your skill set. You either expand or you are expendable. 3, and this is what you are a master at, create a community of collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships. So during the lockdown, I finished my book, You've Got to Be Hungry. And now during the lockdown, I'm working to get it on the New York Times bestseller list. During the lockdown, I'll be talking with someone today that will syndicate the Les Brown Leadership Challenge. It's a franchise, a global franchise that people from corporations will be able to have training done via computers. And listen to this, I'll be able to train from Atlanta, where I'm now living, and 50 corporations around the world.
Wow.
Through a hologram,
Wow.
like they did with Tupac. Okay.
Hologram.
Hologram. It looks real. It's mind blowing. Okay. So now it's about aligning yourself with people who have knowledge and skills, resources, and contacts that you don't have. Put together a team of collaborative, achievement-driven, supported relationships. Don't try and do it solo. You can't make it by yourself. That's why the shopping malls put the mom and pop businesses under, because they couldn't compete. And so practice the principle of OQP, only quality people. Why? You're the sum total of the books that you've read and the people that you hang around with. Practice OQP, only quality people. You earn within $2,000 to $3,000 of your closest friends. When I found that out, I got all the broke people out of my life.
You earn between $2,000 to
$3,000 of your closest friends, because people who earn $30,000 a month don't have anything in common with people who earn $2,000 a month. The first time, Kim, when I earned 6 figures was because of the company that I was in. And I'm talking about an hour. I used to earn, working for the Miami Sanitation Department, around $52,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
But because of my reading and self-development, it expanded my vision of myself and increased my sense of value. And so when I speak in the United States, I earn $70,000 an hour. Now, I don't say this to impress people, to impress upon you that you have greatness in you. But we've been not educated, but indoctrinated in a school system that measures your intelligence based upon your ability to memorize, not to think, not to be creative, not how do you earn money to become independent. You don't tell thinking people Columbus discovered America, and it was occupied by Native Americans, you know? And so we now have to step out of where we are. We've been educating our kids for a world that no longer exists. This is the era, what the late Peter Drucker calls the era of the 3 C's: accelerated change, overwhelming complexity, and tremendous competition. My son, John Leslie, who's here, he earned $2,500 an hour at 14. So he was ahead of schedule for me, because our kids should go further than us. This is the first generation of kids that will not outperform their parents. I outperformed my mother. She had a 3rd grade education.
Mm-hmm.
She worked for families. And so I outperformed her. Why? I watched her. I studied her behavior. I listened. I used to rub my mother's feet and ankles. She suffered from arthritis. I remember her saying, "Oh, Arthur's bothering me." I said, "Mama, who's Arthur?" She'd say, "Don't worry. You get old enough, you find out." I do know Arthur personally. At 75, up in here. And so we have to be willing to be open to the possibilities.
Well, people, they can get your training because some people that are on here are part of your Prodigy program. So I want to make sure that I tell people they can go to lesbrownprodigy.com and they can be a part of your program.
And that's just $20 a month.
That's unbelievable that you're offering that
people get fired on their jobs. I said, I want to do something for the masses. I don't think that God spared me from death just to help those who have get more. I want to have a program that everybody can be a part of. Well, why don't you just give it away free? No, you got to have some skin in the game. And then for people who want personal one-on-one coaching, and this is not for everybody, I'm not a Kmart special. You got to pay me up in here, up in here. If you go to Beyonce, like my granddaughter, and say, Papa, would you give me $600 so I could go see Beyonce down on the ground floor? I said, do I look like Mr. Buckethead? No, I'll do that if you're going to a seminar or workshop to upgrade your skills, to learn something that you don't know now that will allow you to have your own business. But no, for a concert. And the reason that we're so behind and immigrants coming here can't speak the language and run circles around us because we have an entertainment-driven culture.
Okay. Well, I posted already so people could see your Prodigy page. And one thing that I'm very gifted at doing, and I pride myself in this, is honoring, because not only do I have to have the respect of Les Brown, but I also have to have the respect of Ona Brown and John Leslie and Calvin and Serena and Samaya and all of them. So I have to get you off of here so that I'm not getting in trouble.
Yeah, because I got another waiting for me. I do 5 of these a day.
Huh? I know, but I want to make sure that I honor getting you off so that you can get onto your next interview. Thank you so much, Les.
Let me say, people who are interested in personal one-on-one coaching with me, if they're ready to make the investment in themselves and if they are hungry to make a difference, email me lesbrown77@gmail.com. That's lesbrown77@gmail.com.
Okay. Okay, I am posting that so that you guys can email Les Brown directly, and this is his email, and he does check it. It's lesbrown77@gmail.com if you're interested in moving forward with any of the programs that he shared today. And if you don't, and especially for some of them being as inexpensive as $20, I can guarantee you there are no major top motivational speakers in the world at his level offering anything for $20.
We will take food stamps. Thank you.
Well, Ona and John Leslie, I tried. Okay. Okay, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get ready.
Tell my godchildren I said hello. I love them and looking forward to giving them a virtual hug. I encourage people to go to IamHungryLesBrown.com and order my book. It will change your life. And we have over $200 worth of value of videos and other audio programs that we download and a QR code in the book. So it's going to be a great investment for yourself. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
I thank you for being on today. Everyone, stay around for one more minute. I will have a few more announcements, and Les Brown has to get on his other interview. But I want to thank him for being on today's show. And what a blessing that we had to have Les Brown be on the Kim Jacobs Show today. I hope that you guys walked away with some tremendous nuggets. I encourage you to please recommend a mother that is someone that is a frontline worker, an essential worker, someone that is out here working in the grocery stores, the post office, hospitals, you name it. They can't get out of work because their jobs are requiring them to be there. On Friday, we are honoring frontline workers that are mothers in honor of Mother's Day weekend. I need those honorees to be coming forward so that we'll know who will be on the show on this Friday. And if you would like to donate to support these individuals that will be getting honored, make sure that you go ahead and know that you can do that by going to Cash App Kim Jacobs Inc. or you can also PayPal at kim@thebalancedoctor.tv, or you can honor the honoree directly on the show by just getting their Cash App and Cash Apping it to them. It's not a fundraiser, so all of the money that's given will go directly to the honoree. That's happening this Friday. On tomorrow, I have Dr. Delene Mushalak, who's going to be my guest. She is a physician, and she's going to be talking about some up-to-date information regarding COVID-19 and what we can still do to safeguard ourselves against this virus. She's a mother of triplets, and it's very important to her from a family perspective that we learn the ins and outs of what we can do to protect our families. So she's going to be going through a plethora of information on tomorrow's show at 11 o'clock a.m. I am so glad that you guys tuned in. I didn't get a chance to say something to every single person, but I did see you all, and I tried my best to kind of put you in throughout today. Let me let you also know that at noon, which starts literally right now, we have our prayer line that is happening from 12 to 12:30. It's every Monday through Friday from 12 to 12:30. It's our Quest Church prayer line, 978-990-5000. Access code is 322083. Make sure you press the pound sign. And we're praying for all of the people that are impacted during this whole COVID-19 time frame, this pandemic, things that were unforeseen. So make sure you jump on and get some daily prayer as well. I am so grateful that you guys have tuned in today, and make sure you subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show on YouTube. Turn on your notifications, because every time we go live, you'll get notified that we're on the air. It's right now Monday through Fridays at 11 o'clock a.m. You'll be sure to see a new episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. What a tremendous show with Mr. Leslie Calvin Brown. He just blessed our hearts today, and I'm so glad that he was able to be a part of today's show. Tune in tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. And let me see somebody else. Thank you, Kim. Okay, thank you too, and a virtual hug to you, Samantha. And phenomenal show, Tarina. Thank you for joining. Kim, that was magnificent. Lisa Graham, thank you so much. Dixon, thank you. Okay, Shanae, all of you guys, I just really appreciate you guys being on today. You make the Kim Jacobs Show what it is, and I don't take you for granted. And I love each and every one of you. God bless you. Be encouraged and have a great day. Bye-bye, everybody.